Welcome to Oshima. So I've been living on Oshima for about, has it been 8 months already? About 8 months. And I figured it would be helpful if I finally made like an apartment tour video of sorts. So here is the front of my building in all its glory. Only 2 stories. This whole thing used to be filled. But since I've been here, I believe 2 people have moved out, and the one up over there is just not occupied and hasn't been for a while. Anyway, that one's mine, the one with all the clothes that everybody can see, which, honestly, probably the worst part about living here. There's no other place to dry your laundry, so you just have to kind of show the main road, because everybody knows what kind of underwear I wear. So it goes. Anyway, one way you can tell it's mine, always shoes outside because I never have enough room for my shoes. And here we are, 102. That is me. Cute little bell. Oh, I pressed my own bell. Anyway, cute little bell. We go inside. I got the heaviest door in the world, I swear. We have a small little, not entirely sure what you would call it, storage? Whatever, storage desk thing. Cabinet, that's the word I was looking for. Just to throw some stuff here. Inside is the shoe cabinet, which I've got some stuff, and insecticide, which is crucial in Japan, especially when you live on the islands. Anyway, let's take our shoes off at the Genkan here. As you start to come in, you see my little Oshima flag. And let's go into the kitchen first, since that's probably the biggest room. Step into the kitchen. I've done my best with some decor because this place is from, I think, the late 60s or early 70s. So it's just brown. Everything is brown. Oh, you want some color? Have some yellow and brown. So I tried to spruce it up a little bit. Most of my stuff comes from Amazon because it's really quite difficult to get stuff here. You kind of have to rely on the internet. Just enough for 2 people. Sort of Western style table, nothing special. The floor is not even. That's why that's there. It's not because I forgot. It's because it's necessary. The mini fridge and the microwave that I got from the company that I work for, which is Interac, as you will know by the title of this video. And the microwave I barely use because I'm an adult and I understand how to use a gas range. The refrigerator, while nice in theory, is quite small. So this is my head level, basically. That's my head level. And there's the fridge. You see a problem here. This holds enough food for maybe a couple of days for somebody of my size. So I have to go shopping fairly frequently. I can speak English, I promise. Not like I do it professionally or anything. Calendar over here from the islands. This is for 2019, obviously. This is a 7 islands calendar, hence the first 2 kanji for 7 and island. There's a couple of weirdly placed chargers here, or chargers rather, outlets. There's one up over there, which I assume at the time was probably meant to go for here for like some kind of blender. I use it as a phone charger mostly. Garbage pickup and everything down there with my little garbage pails that nobody really wants to see. This is the small kitchen area, which is, I suppose, quite big for Japanese standards. For American standards, small. You know, if you want to have something drying, but also prepare something to cook at the same time, you see the conundrum. So usually that'll have to get moved, or I'll have to do all my preparation at the table over here. Either way, if I don't sit down, I have to like bend down because everything is, again, too small. Just to wash dishes, I have to bend down. This apartment's really made for somebody who's like 5'6", like the average Japanese person. Who would have thought? Anyway, we have a couple of racks over here, which is slightly disheveled at the moment, but usually I use it for teas, napkins, paper towels, anything I need quickly at hand. Sugar, which I've had that since I got here. So, man, consume. That's the verb I'm looking for. I consume a lot less sugar now that I'm in Japan. It's one of the good things. Here, you'll notice something kind of curious. This is actually a male to female plug. You know, it's like if your appliances had a female inlet, which I have never seen before, but this looks quite old. Clearly, I don't use it. I just use this sometimes to maybe charge something over here. I just think it's way too close to a splash zone. I think it's a stupid idea. Anyway, over here we have mostly cleaning supplies, stuff I need all the time. This is the water temperature control. So this cute little thing, you have to turn on before you get any hot water. That's the power, obviously. This adjusts it up and down, and it'll tell you. That is a super long way of saying the water is now 43 degrees. And now it'll do this. That takes too long. You can also use this to set the bath temperature since they're linked, but I just use them individually because I can't really be bothered. Over here, we have the gas range, which is incredibly more powerful than the one I'm used to in America. One thing you'll notice, though, that you can't just start it, which I think is kind of smart, but I didn't realize this until like a month after living here, that you have to manually turn on the gas every time. So now it's on. Okay, way to make me look stupid. There we go. But it's pretty strong, like that's maybe half. That's holy shit, let's cook a person. And then you have to turn it off, or you're supposed to. You really don't want the gas to sort of linger there. Let me turn that off too. But this is really quite nice. The two burners are pretty strong. Between the two burners and this little fish oven, which I don't cook fish all that often. Usually it's chicken for me. This is enough to like, obviously when I put stuff on it, this is enough to like cook a couple of chicken breasts if I really wanted to. But I don't really go crazy with it. The sink is a decent size. Again, have to lean over to use it. But there's some cabinetry down here, and as you can tell by the color palette again, this is clearly a product of the 70s. So down here is usually where I keep pots, pans, extra cleaning supplies, fun stuff that nobody really cares about. Down over here is usually where I keep garbage bags and such, and any extra cleaning supplies. They are obsessed with plastic Interpan, which is one of the reasons that I brought my own reusable bag for shopping, because they give you plastic with every goddamn thing. They're so conscious about recycling, yet they use plastic all the time. What a waste. Anyway, here we have cutlery drawer, as we call in my family, the shit drawer or the junk drawer, where you just have shit, basically. And down here is usually where the drying rack would be, but I use that so often that I just don't bother. Back here, actually, is a small balcony, which there's apparently a plastic bottle of Pocari Sweat on. Okay, that's cool. Don't know how that got there. Anyway, we open the door. I don't really use this all that often because in the summer the spiders love to take over, and I'm not about that life. But back here, you have a small view. That's actually my car, which, believe it or not, a 6'1" human can fit in, albeit uncomfortably. That is actually one of my schools back there, which is really cool. But the view back here is quite nice in the summer, spring, and autumn. I don't know what it'll be like in the winter, presumably quite windy. But it is pretty back here. You know, in the summer, this is all taken over by spiders, so you can't really sit back here. But, you know, for now, it's nice. There's also this little closet where I usually keep, you know, there's a jerry can in there, which isn't mine, but was always here. Keep my washing bucket for my car and my bike. And we're just gonna close that. Everything requires a little more effort here because everything on Oshima is a little bit old. Close that a little. Move into the L area, the living area. I think this is technically supposed to be the bedroom area, but for reasons that will be clear in a few minutes, I chose not to make it that. So over here, we can go with the view out the front. Again, here's where all the laundry would hang. But this is sort of the front view, just off the main road there. This is the only main road that Oshima has. So it's not the quietest place, but That's only by Oshima standards. It's quiet by Japanese standards if you're talking about Tokyo and such. But over here is my living space. So I bought the bike and the bag when I got to Japan. I mean, super into biking, so it was one of those things where I just decided to spend money on myself for once. Small sofa that I don't really use all that often. I found that, since moving here, I really don't play video games all that much. But this is enough for two people, to sit down and play some video games, if I so feel. My PS4, Miku holding down the corner, and just some stuff. I used to have more stuff in there, but I just found that it was cluttery. I kind of don't like to keep that much stuff around. So, obviously, I gotta rep the USA. And over here is where my air conditioner would be, if I had one. But this apartment didn't come with one, and to buy one was gonna be super expensive, so I sort of just toughed it out. I don't personally recommend that, because that sucked. But it's doable. And over here, I brought my flag from America, and it covers up some stuff. Normally, that white thing right there would be the outlet for the AC, but seeing as how I don't have one, it's just covered. Anyway, this area is quite big, actually. Right. Exercise bench. Thank you, Amazon. Some of my weights in the corner. We don't actually have a legit gym on the island, so this is just kind of how it be. Let's see. Let's move on to this corner is where I usually keep my laptop and some study materials, the two books that I've already finished, two of my Japanese books rather, that I've already finished, some electronics, just some stuff basically. I spend a lot of time in this corner because there's not that much to do on Oshima when the weather is not nice. If it's raining, you're kind of fucked. Let's see. This area itself is kind of big. Now, this is sort of supposed to be like the common room or a living room, I suppose, but I turned it into the bedroom because this is a closet. Now, normally this would be used for like storing futons and stuff, but I'm an American, so I use this as a clothes closet. So I usually keep all my work clothes over here on this side, along with some sweaters. And over here, I'll open it up the other way, is my casual clothes and my bike clothes and such. So it's doable. I mean, I got pants and stuff on the shelf down there. All the way at the bottom is luggage and shit that nobody really cares about, so I'm not going to bother showing it. But there is a lot of storage in this apartment. Surprisingly so. There's two extra things up here for storage that I just keep open so I can toss stuff up onto, save some boxes, because I don't know if I'll be here next year. Here meaning Oshima, not Japan. I'm planning on staying. Keep my ironing board in the corner, which seems to be something that a lot of Japanese people here do not own. So many people just walking around with wrinkled ass clothes. I don't know how y'all do it. I got too much pride for that, man. That's what happens when you grow up with an Italian mom. You can't walk out with wrinkly clothes. Anyway, I got my bed over here, which is a place that no magic happens at. Kind of a self-burn there. But technically there's a futon pad here, or whatever you want to call it. That's the futon, and then I have two mattress, I put that in air quotes, mattresses underneath. It's okay. It's better than sleeping on the floor. I'll put it that way. I've got a small fan that the company gave me, which was a godsend in summertime. And over here is the heater that I bought a few days ago from Amazon for like $40. And so far it's been doing okay because the nights get cold here. And we'll see how that goes the rest of the winter. This room, I should back up and show you. This room is now all wood. I think this is within the last year or two that did this. But beforehand, this was clearly a tatami mat room like it is in the other apartments in this little district is not the word. Complex. Complex is the word I'm looking for. In this little complex, they usually have this room as the tatami room, hence the shogi doors. It's a little bothersome in the morning because I'm fairly certain that people could see in. But, you know, you want to see me getting out of bed. I don't know. I'm past it at this point. I really don't care that much. I live on the main road, and you want to see me in my underwear when I wake up. That's, you do you, boo-boo. Anyway, this is right next to the Gangkang, so you could just walk right in here. But another reason I chose this is because if I ever feel like it, bam, I can section that door off just like a bedroom. Section that door off, section that room off like a bedroom. We're back to the Genkan, and the last two rooms that we have, this will be quick, so let's do this one. It is what you might expect, bathroom, and everything in here is old. The pipe needs to be repainted. Can't do anything about that. I promise I didn't shit on the pipe. That's rust. You'll have to take my word for it. And the toilet itself, this is all kind of old, and I wish I had one of those heating things, or one of the new toilets that has that stuff built in. I don't. I really don't want to spend a couple $100s on the seating heating. So my butt gets cold. But there is an outlet there, which I thought was kind of curious. It's not for charging your phone. It's for plugging in one of those things to heat your ass in the wintertime. So I don't think I'll invest in that, but we shall see. The last room is the, I don't know what you would call it, the prep room / washing room, because there's like the sink in here. We have the actual washroom in here, or / bathroom. This is all old. Let me turn the light on. Everything in here is kind of old, such as the way of Oshima. So no matter how much bleach I've scrubbed that with, that's just how that looks, and I've come to terms with it. Everything in here is kind of old, but as clean as I can get it. That bath looks big. It is not. I am 6'1". I don't fit in it, so it very rarely gets used. Small washing machine that I have, laundry stuff nobody cares about. The actual, prep place. I bought this simply because of the name. It was like $7. How do you not buy something that's called Sexy Boy? Anyway. And then there's the mirror here, which showcases the problem that I have with this apartment. So this is my level. My eye level is right about here. As you can see, according to this mirror, I have no head. I've got half a face. This is what I got. So I have to pop a squat to be able to see myself, which is bad, but it also means that every archway here I have to duck under. Then I have to duck under this one. I have to duck under that one. I have to duck under that one. The only one I don't have to duck under is this one. And all the cracks, I imagine, are the stress from the earthquakes, but hasn't fallen down yet. So there, I can walk freely through here. Can't walk freely through here. If I do, you can maybe hear my hat rustling now, but I've cracked my head on this enough times to know that this is not feasible. Anyway, this is a pretty large apartment by Japanese standards. So the cool thing is this place is enough for me and only costs 7,900 yen. To put that into American dollars, that is about $75 a month. So that seems really cheap, but then it has to be really cheap because the islands, well, this is the biggest and most populated island, and it still doesn't really have that much. So they got to keep people here somehow or attract people somehow with that cheap rent. Anyway, if you wind up moving to Oshima or any of the islands, really, you can expect your company or maybe Jet, depending whether you work for Interac or Jet, or I don't know if GABA puts anybody out here on the islands. It's probably just, the two big ones, which are Jet and Interac. If you wind up moving to the islands, this is probably about the kind of thing that you could expect. Not the worst thing in the world. It's definitely cheap. So, you could live with it.